Are you trespassing me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and if I don't leave, you'll arrest me?
No, I'll make someone come up. Don't worry about it.
You probably should leave since I did trespass you twice.
Sure.
Yeah. And
Okay, so are you trespassing me?
Verbally right now, yes. I am verbally trespassing.
Okay, so you're an agent on the raft?
I'm not an agent for the federal government. I work for the Fife Police Department.
so look, so as long as you guys leave now, I'm not going to have the police come and verbally or write you a trespass.
There is in no universe will I leave. Watch police officers and record them. Are you telling me I cannot do it? That's Ninth Circuit. Ninth Circuit.
You're speaking over me. Have a good day, sir.
All right. So it looks like they're going to violate Fordyce versus City of Seattle.
So I'm trespassing you now.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, it means you're going to have to call Fife PD. Can we just skip to the final trespass?
Okay. So I'm going to trespass you for the second time.
Since you know my name, can I ask what your name is?
Yeah, I just I have a deep, abiding affection for the Fourth Amendment.
They didn't even call me. I thought you guys were...
Why are you trespassing us when we're here for official business?
Hey everyone, I am free. It is September 29th, 2025, and I'm going to the Department of Homeland Security Customs and Border Patrol office in Fife, Washington. Check into leads I received that the office is unwilling to receive members of the public for a Foia request, and in particular, elderly and non-primary English-speaking people who need help with making a Foia request without traveling to Seattle from Fife, which is quite the distance and effort. Additionally, I wanted to ensure that certain aspects of the Askins v. DHS ruling were in effect, and specifically that there was no signage that prohibited people from using their First Amendment liberties at land ports of entry locations per the agreement at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. I covered a story about that in 2023 in Blaine, Washington, and we'll be going over that again to ensure that the Department of Homeland Security is compliant.
That's the guy I'm looking for right there. It's locked. Yep. Well, maybe I have to pull harder. Nope. It's definitely locked. Continue to wait here and see if we can get any service. Just trying to submit a Freedom of Information Act request. This is, I definitely think, another way for them to basically also refuse to identify. The guy literally waved at me, so I'm going to wait till they come back, and then I'm going to point at the door.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Good, how you doing?
Yeah, I work for the building owner. We own the whole city block right here.
Are you talking
about harsh properties?
So anyway, there's no trespassing on the site.
Oh, we can't come to our federal government office.
Oh, you
that's
can.
Open?
But so here's the deal. Can you just stop for a second?
I don't really make deals, sir.
So first of all, I'm videoing you too.
Oh, you don't have to tell us.
Yeah. So here's the deal. We don't allow any trespassing. We don't allow graffiti artists or homeless or people that haven't been invited by one of our tenants. You haven't. I don't think you've been invited.
Ooh,
but
you're
it's
gonna
all
have
right.
to, you're gonna have to call Fife. You're gonna have to call Fife PD.
Well, yeah. Can
Well, you
stop?
don't even know why we're here.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have no idea.
I know. I'm just telling you. So can I just finish?
We are invited. Official business
I
only.
know,
We have
guys,
official
so here's
business
the
with
thing.
them.
So I'm trespassing you now.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, it means you're gonna have to call Fife PD.
Okay. No. So if you leave now, I won't trespass you the second time. So you're not. Are you
Can we
gonna
just
leave?
skip to the final
Okay,
trespass?
so I'm going to trespass you for the second time.
Okay.
And so as long as you don't do any damage, we're fine. They didn't even call me. I thought you guys were,
Why are you trespassing us when we're here for official business?
well, because I don't think they've invited you. So you know what? I have GoPros too. I actually own a production company.
That's awesome. I
Well,
appreciate
isn't
it.
that cool?
Look, how about this?
So who are you guys from?
I'd rather not get into that.
You
Let's-
what?
I'd rather not get into that. It seems like you actually want to be amicable. So I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay. I don't want to have any bad things
Yeah.
happen, or I don't want to be hostile. First of all, speaking for myself, I have zero interest in doing any damage or causing
I
problems.
can
here
tell because you
on this
wouldn't be
property.
carrying $10,000 worth a year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
So you won't tell me who you're from. I'm just
No.
interested
Yeah,
as a citizen.
I know. We're just here to do official business with the United States federal government,
Okay.
and it's implied consent. You don't have to call in advance and say,
Yeah.
Daddy, I paid you
But
money.
they didn't
Can I now
answer
come
the
to my-"
door?
No, they're refusing to provide assistance.
Okay, so look, so as long as you guys leave now, I'm not going to have the police come and verbally or write you a trespass.
There is in no universe
You
will I
already
leave.
called the police?
No.
No, yeah,
No.
I'm
So,
not leaving.
First of all, I know you guys are professionals at this, I can tell.
Okay.
And I know that you have no interest in what I'm saying, second of all.
Well, that's actually not true.
Okay.
That's not true.
Okay, and you've been cool. You've been cool.
Yeah, I have
'Cause
no
I'm
animus
used to
towards
the
it.
homeless out here.
Yeah,
and
no.
The drug
I
addicts.
actually have legitimate official business with the Department of Homeland
Oh, good.
Security. I have been knocking. They're refusing to provide assistance. It is implied consent, sir, as I'm sure you well know.
Yeah.
On private property,
Yeah.
it is implied consent
Well,
to
we
come
have
to a
it
federal building.
posted on all of our the beginning.
So what you're saying is you're going to control my access to my government. That's what you're saying.
No,
That's what you're
I'm
saying.
not. I'm not.
Then what you should do is rescind them.
Okay, so hold on. So we do have it marked
Okay.
that this is private property.
Sure.
There's no trespassing. There's no soliciting.
I'm not soliciting.
Okay, so you're not soliciting, and but you won't tell me what you're doing.
I don't have to.
Okay, we're good. Okay,
All right.
so
you're going to call
guys,
Fife and get them over here?
no,
You're not?
no.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We deal with this all the time. Not this kind of thing, but this is actually the first time anything that. So anyway,
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it very well could have been some of your other tenants, which do have a right to privacy here.
Yeah.
This tenant has that much privacy,
Yeah.
0%, because
well,
I own them
that's
and
not
they
true.
work for
But
me.
but
They do have
but
zero
we own
privacy.
those sidewalk. But hold
Yeah.
on, just 1 second.
Sure.
The other thing is that you guys are masked.
Yeah,
Is it for COVID?
I don't answer those kinds of
Okay,
questions.
so you won't answer anything.
Yeah.
You're masked.
Mhm,
Okay,
true.
I don't know if you
All
have any
true.
weapons on you.
That's true, you don't.
Okay, and I don't feel threatened much yet by you guys.
I don't know why you feel threatened by
So
us. We're
there
not
be
doing
so
anything.
you're wearing gold.
Is
And,
gold threatening?
Yeah. So are
it
you
is.
guys are you Trumpers or are you on the other side?
Well, I don't answer political stuff. What I do is I come to my government buildings
Yeah.
to conduct government business because I pay my servants inside to serve me.
Yeah.
And so I'm here to get service from my servants,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm here
So
for.
guys, I'm a longtime Republican. So
Okay,
anyway,
cool.
hey guys, have a good day.
All right, you
and,
too.
Just you probably should leave since I did trespass you twice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have a good day.
All right.
Yeah.
You take care.
And I'm not giving you permission, and I did give you permission to video me.
Yeah, have
I
you
don't
read
want it
RCW
released.
97330?
No,
and
hold on.
Fordyce versus City of Seattle?
Yeah, you can't record my voice. If I ever see this,
Oh, yeah, it's going on.
yeah,
for
but
sure.
you're not allowed to record a voice without
absolutely.
telling me.
Oh,
And you
absolutely.
didn't tell me.
RCW 9.733030
Yeah, I know.
totally
I know.
allows it to happen.
No, that's not true. So
Oh,
I'm.
I think it's actually subsections 3 and 4.
Yeah,
It is, yeah.
And I know you guys are professionals at this.
Professionals
but,
at being citizens.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we're pretty good at being citizens. I mean,
I've been a great American citizen forever.
well, that's great.
Guys, have
I mean,
a good day.
You bet. It'd be better if what I would suggest, if you don't mind. I mean, you said you're a lifelong Republican.
Yeah.
I would just politely, obviously, I can't make you do it, but I would politely suggest just going back and rereading the First Amendment. It's got 5 amazing liberties in there. One of them's press, one of them's speech, one of them is the right to petition your government.
Oh, I
to
know
seek
all
redress.
that. So one thing, guys, I'm an old-time Republican.
Okay.
But for 10 years, I've voted.
Old-time Republican.
I voted Democrat for the last 10 years.
Okay. Well, hey, that's
guys,
your right.
Yeah. So, guys, have a
No
good
problem.
day.
Yeah, you bet. All right, take care now.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good day. That was weird.
Wow.
I need assistance. I need assistance. There's another one right there. I need to do an information request, a records request. Can you help me with a records request? Wow. Loud enough for him to hear that I'm trying to get a records request, completely refusing right there at that desk. Yeah, they're just refusing to provide service today. Been waiting out here for an hour and 40 minutes maybe. They're right there.
Okay. So you're making some kind of video?
Well, I'm trying to actually get assistance making a records request, but they're just refusing to render assistance.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
not really sure what's going on. Are they closed?
Close this side, and probably something you have. Seems like you have previous conversation, and then I'm not sure why, but probably they're gonna be closed.
They're, wow! They're open until 4:30 and they're gonna close down because someone wants a records request. That's insane.
You can call them if you want.
No, I appreciate the information though. Thanks. You have a good day. So I'm gonna head off this property since I can't get assistance. We're gonna call it good here at the, well, actually I'm gonna call it bad, at the Department of Homeland Security. Hello. Looking to see if I can get some assistance, please.
With,
Well, prefer to start with a manager. Had some negative experiences here the last time I was here. Thanks.
sir,
Yeah.
we don't have the manager available. Would you like to make an appointment for later today?
No, I mean, if there's no manager available, I guess I could just see, perhaps I could get some questions answered from you, perhaps. So I was here a little while ago, a little over a month ago. I was actually just trying to do a Freedom of Information Act request and then also just ask some questions about procedures for people coming into the United States. And also wanted to ask some questions about any issues that the agency has had locally.
Is there a reason why you're filming me?
Yeah, I'm working on something.
Can I ask you to turn that off, please?
I mean, you can ask, but there's no lawful requirement for me to shut it off.
I would respectfully ask you to turn that off unless there's some reason why you need me to be on record for something.
Well, I mean, it's not like official record. I'm just trying to document this so I have the information to look at later.
We could talk about this. Can you please turn off the camera?
I mean, I can. I mean, 41 CFR 10274-420, which I'm sure you probably are familiar with, makes it really clear that this is lawful activity, on federal property. So I'm just trying to understand why I was treated so rudely, or rather with such rude behavior from every single employee at this particular office when I was here.
Okay, one more time, please. Can I ask you to turn off the camera so we can have a conversation?
Is that a lawful order?
It's a request.
Okay, it's a request.
I'm not a manager, so I'm not in a position where I can address a large spectrum.
Sure.
So I'm just asking you respectfully, please.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could, but I mean, like I said, I'm trying to understand and have a really good record. What I don't want to have happen is have me perhaps potentially misunderstand you, and then, you know, take a position on something later and be like, hey, Officer Ono said X, and then you might say, hold on a minute, that is in fact not what I said. We have a neutral arbiter here who can advocate for transparency by getting an accurate record of both what you say and what I say, and I think that's fair to everybody.
Since you know my name, can I ask what your name is?
Yeah, you know, I just I have a deep abiding affection for the Fourth Amendment, and since you are a federal employee, I just don't really want to violate my Fourth Amendment.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, I just have like I said, a deep abiding affection for the Fourth Amendment, so prefer to keep it intact as much as possible. What I'll do is I'll wait for a supervisor or manager to show up. I'll just take a seat in this public lobby and wait for them.
I see.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it, Officer Ono. Excuse me. Do you know who the, I guess, manager is or supervisor?
Yeah, they're coming to talk to you.
They are? Okay, appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, how can I help you today?
Hey, just have some questions for you if I could. I was here not all that long ago, a little over a month ago, and was actually wanting to get some questions answered and submit a Freedom of Information Act request. And when here, I was actually locked out of the facility while CBP was allowing other citizens to come in. And I couldn't help but notice it appeared to be based on my desire to express not only my speech, but my press liberties, as well as the content of my speech. It seemed to be that CBP was discriminating against me based on my perceptions and what I wanted to do in terms of business with the federal government, while the CBP was allowing other citizens to come in and express themselves in their own way. Is it common practice for CBP to take those kinds of actions against citizens with intent to deprive certain people with access to what they pay for while allowing others to come in and do their business?
Normally, this office is locked all the time because we do not allow just anybody off the street to come in. If someone needs to come in for official business. So you said you came in here for business. What official business did you have with us last time?
I was going to attempt to submit a Foia request, and which is official business.
Okay, well, I can help you with that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we don't do any FOIA requests here. It has to go through our main office, and it's all done online. So you can go online under cbp.gov, and you can request a FOIA request for almost anything that you would like. Like I said, unfortunately, I do not handle that. That's all in our main office downtown Seattle.
Gotcha. Okay, so I want to certainly make sure I don't misrepresent what you're saying, so I don't want to put words in your mouth. Is it fair to say, and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, that the official position of CBP, at least at this office, I'm assuming you're the commander with rank of major there, is that you will not accept an in-person Freedom of Information Act request from any member of the public, no matter the circumstances?
It's all done online. We don't handle that here. Like I said, at our main office, downtown Seattle,
Okay.
they're the ones who handle all Freedom of Information requests. It's got to go through the mission support request, got to go through our port director and all that. I do not handle that. Now, if you have a piece of paper that you want to submit, I'll be more than happy to take that with you from you right now, and then I can go ahead and send that up my chain of command. I can't make any promises because, like I said, I do not deal with this. I've been working for the agency for many years. I've never dealt with a Freedom of Information request in person since they've taken care of it online.
Okay. So, again, I want to make sure I understand this correctly. And I also want to clarify, I'm not actually seeking the records from you because, of course, certainly you are not the custodian of records. I would certainly agree with that. You've obviously got a different job. But as a federal officer, as a federal employee, you would accept a public records request or a Freedom of Information Act request in person if someone did bring it here, and then you would just pass that along to
Like I said, I can't make any guarantees. I can set it's all done online. But if you had the paper, I will be more than happy just to take the paper from you and submit it up to the chain of command. Again, since it's all done online, I don't know how that works. I do not deal with the FOIA request whatsoever here. I never have.
Okay. And if a person coming into the United States, and I want to clarify, not a citizen, either on visa or if they had a green card, for example, something along those lines, if an individual like that were to come in, would you refuse, I guess I'll call them an alien or a person here on visa, if they were submitting a FOIA, where clearly you're saying you would at least accept my FOIA here today in person and then pass it up to the office?
Like I said, all of our FOIA requests are done online. I would refer you to the online way to do it. I would let them know the same thing I'm telling you now. If they have a paper, I would take it. I cannot make any guarantees because I do not do FOIA requests. And that's it. And like I said,
Sure.
the real way you're supposed to do it for CBP here in Seattle is submit it online. That's the official way to do a FOIA request.
Gotcha.
And that's all online. You can find that, all that information on cbp.gov. You know, the thing I would recommend is you're going to have your identification. Okay, I'm going to request that so I can go ahead and have identification on who's submitting that. Get your address, your phone number, all that contact information,
Sure.
so I can submit to my port director along with your paperwork for the request.
Gotcha.
Okay, and I'll make photocopies of the documents so I can submit to my port director. And that's why we do it all online, because I do not handle this.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's why I strongly recommend do it online. It's the easiest way to do it. It's the method that CBP wants you to do.
Yeah, okay.
What other official business do you have right now, sir? Because I have someone coming in.
Sure. Could I get a piece of paper and a pen and I'll happily...
No, sir, I have official business with a gentleman
Okay,
behind me.
I'll wait till he's
So
done.
you can leave the building until he's done.
41 CFR 10274-420 is really
No,
clear.
he's here for
There is no
official business.
prohibition on me being in this
He's
building.
here for official business, and he has a right to privacy under the Privacy Act of 1975.
That's not true.
All right, this is really odd at this point. The major has stated that I am trespassed, yet says there will be no enforcement action, then says don't worry about it. He'll have someone come out to talk with me. So he's in effect going back to me, waiting, and is going to have someone come out to speak with me further. As it turns out, that's not what the major intended. As it turns out, the major ended up calling the Fife City Police Department to come and trespass me while I had legitimate business with the DHS CBP. This is a decision on part of DHS CBP to choose who they're going to serve and why they're going to serve them. The major even acknowledged there wasn't an issue when he told me that he needed me to wait outside while the other person was being assisted.
No, I'll make someone come out. Don't worry about it.
Yet, the Privacy Act doesn't protect information being disclosed in a public lobby. It protects certain records from being disclosed to the public. How do we know this? Well, it says it at foia.gov. And I quote, "Since 1967, the Freedom of Information Act has provided the public the right to request access to records from any federal agency. It is often described as the law that keeps citizens in the know about their government. Federal agencies are required to disclose any information requested under the FOIA unless it falls under one of 9 exemptions which protect interests such as personal privacy, national security, and law enforcement. It's not about protecting people's privacy in a public lobby."
It is true.
This lobby, it's a lobby, is
Okay,
allowed...
I'm not going to talk to you anymore, sir. Please have a...
Okay, I'll wait for him to be done.
Well, you can wait. I'll make phone calls.
Are you trespassing me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and if I don't leave, you'll arrest me?
No, I'll make someone come out. Don't worry about it. No, I'll make someone come out. Don't worry about it.
Wow. Journalist working on a story, and this is where it is.
Hi. I have here from 1999.
So now what we have here is the major, who's the commander, who was out there,
Okay.
basically just said he wants me to leave.
Yep.
But he said he's trespassing me,
Not visible from here because it's so small, but
but he said he's going to have someone come out. So now I'm waiting for him to have someone come out. So I guess that person's going to talk to me more about whatever's going on here. So we're going to wait and see what he has to say, or whoever it is that's going to come out. How you doing? Good. Not too shabby.
What's going on today?
Not much. How about you, man?
Much.
Cool.
We asked what they want done, if he's been asked to leave or not, and if there's 2 charges, we'll just take him into custody. So if you want to do that.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for get assistance with a FOIA.
Okay.
Said he was going to have someone come out.
Okay, let me touch base on that.
Sure.
What's going on.
You bet.
Hello. Can I have a sidebar with you back? Yeah. So, is he with you?
What's that?
Is he with you?
No, not at all.
So who did you say you were waiting for?
The major. Just waiting to submit a public records request, a Foia. So, had business doing that. It's just getting a little hot in here.
Pressed you from that place before?
What's that?
Have they physically trespassed you? Have they given you anything?
No. He said he wanted me to leave, but at the same time, he said he was going to have someone come out to talk to me, so I was a little confused about that.
Maybe that was a ruse. I don't know. We got called here.
Oh, gotcha, yeah. Okay.
But you do understand if they've asked you to leave and they want to push the charges, you can go to jail.
Well, I mean, he said he was going to have someone come out after he said that, so it's a little confusing. I mean, if they're actually trespassing me, I'm happy to leave, but it was a little confusing about what he intended there.
Okay. Well,
No, I'll make someone come out. Don't worry about it.
in order to trespass, you have a form you have to fill out and your ID.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to provide ID. I mean, I've committed no crime.
Committing the crime of trespassing, so you're going to need your ID.
Yeah, you can do an oral public trespass. You can do an oral public trespass. That's for a notification, like an actual.
I do physical ones.
Okay, well, I mean, you can't compel my ID for a trespass. It's a civil issue.
What's that?
It's a civil issue.
Sure.
So, I mean, like I said, if he wants me to leave, I'm happy to leave. But I was a little confused when he said, he wasn't going to take the Foia, but then he said someone was going to come out. And so, yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he went to his boss and they said, call the police. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's no way for me to know. Like I said, if they're going to refuse the Foia and they're asking me to leave, I'll leave. But I mean, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of whether or not this is what's going on, because actually I'm working on a story regarding people being refused the ability to do a Freedom of Information Act request here. So that's what I'm working on.
Aren't those usually done online, Freedom of Information requests?
Well, they can be, and I certainly agree. I mean, normally, if it were a me request, I would certainly do it online. But I'm working on a story about two categories of people: elderly people and people that maybe this isn't their first language, they need some assistance. And what he was pointing out is that sign over there with the address is the place that you go, but it's like 30 miles away.
It's federal government. I don't know. But that's where you do it. That's where you do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll just have you say that again. It would be online.
So I checked with my management.
Yeah.
And they said only FOIA requests are done online. We do not accept them here whatsoever.
Okay, so it's just a flat-out refusal on doing it in person here.
Correct. It's all done online.
Okay, and I just want to clarify, because it sounded like you said a moment ago you were going to have someone come out and talk to me. So you are.
Gentlemen,
He got the clarification. I had a
Okay.
conversation back there. Obviously, I'm with Fife PD, right?
Sure.
But I think it's fair to say most things, if anything, are typically done online these days.
Sure.
This gentleman here is just simply saying, hey, it's not that you're treated differently. That's the channel if Joe Smo walked in from the street.
Yeah.
Hey, it's online. We all click digital stuff. So in the grand scheme of this stuff, that's where they need to point you to. Okay.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. And I want to make it clear, I don't have any umbrage with you or anything. I'm working on a story about, as I mentioned to you a moment ago, Major, a couple of different categories of people that have expressed, at least to me as journalists, that there's some issues with being able to do it in person. The belief is, especially after I've read the Freedom of Information Act statute, is that you can come in person and do it that way.
Now, if you have a piece of paper that you want to submit, I'll be more than happy to take that with you right now, from you right now.
Now, like I was just telling this Officer Morales here a moment ago, personally, I would submit a public records request online. Most of us probably would, right? We all know how to use email. But there are a couple of categories of people, elderly folk who sometimes need some assistance. They're not particularly savvy with the internet, email, whatever. I mean, geez, I have to help my dad all the time, right?
Sure.
But there's also people that maybe English isn't their primary language, or they're confused about it and they need assistance. And certainly I agree, as you pointed to the sign over there with the address, that you could go to Seattle, but I mean, that is a bit of an onerous trip for a lot of people. And so what I'm trying to figure out.
That's the only place they do it. So if you come here, you're not going to get anything anyway.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to.
Normally the store's locked, and we have appointments only when we're doing this.
Oh, that's all right. I'm running a body cam camera.
We normally don't have people just walking in off the street because, like I said, our trade environment that we have here, we're dealing with containers, we're dealing with vessels, we're dealing with
Sure.
shipping in and out of the country. And they all make appointments to come see us, and that's it. We don't, I've been working here for many years, and I've never had anyone just walk up the street here since we've been at this place. Because like I said, our doors are normally locked.
Do you do any immigration enforcement here?
And we don't, I've never done an immigration enforcement here yet. Luckily, I mean, we have
What's your
crew
main,
members.
what's your main purpose here?
Our main purpose here is to allow over 600,000 containers enter the United States to come in so you guys can have the toilet paper that you may need, or the commodity that you may need, and the vehicles you have that are coming in.
Sure.
So we deal with all the vehicles that come in, we deal with containers coming in, the ships that are coming in, the food that's coming in, so everything to benefit you guys.
So bottom line, anything to do with immigration doesn't go through this office.
No, it goes down
Any
through-
information you want through the Freedom of Information Act, you have to go to that address, sir.
Yep, right there.
You have nothing to offer this man.
No, I can't do it here.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a piece of paper that you want to submit, I'll be more than happy to take that with you right now, from you right now.
No, and like I
No
said,
idea
I'm just
what
trying
to do with
to,
it.
I'm just trying to confirm this because there's citizens that are taking umbrage with DHS CBP choosing to not provide services that are as convenient as
But we're not
possible. to them.
providing services. We are providing the service. Unfortunately, it's just not done at this location.
Sure. Well, and I understand, and I understand that also at the same time, you know, the FOIA thing is not something that it sounds like you're up to speed on, which is totally fine. I'm not up to speed on what you do, right? So in that event, or in that case, I'm just trying to understand and report accurately here, and it sounds like I've got the information that I need. However, I would like to also confirm something, because when I spoke with you earlier about 41 CFR 102-74-420, that allows access to the public to come into a lobby exactly like this one, are you saying, Major, that it is the position of the federal government that statute does not apply to this office and this lobby?
The only thing I'm telling you is normally our office is locked and we have appointments only here. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and it says it's open right there, office hours
I understand
open.
what you're saying. I'm not going to argue about it because
Sure.
you're trying to rise me, and I'm not going to allow that.
I am not trying to rise you.
So
I'm talking
I'm letting
calmly
you
and
know,
politely the entire
normally,
time.
just like last time you came here, our office was locked
Mm-hmm.
because it's normally locked and it's by appointment only. And yes, by appointments only, it's because it's between 8 a.m. and 16:30 or 4:30 p.m. So that's the time that people can come here and make their appointments and they come see us. Because of the fact that we keep it locked because they share a lot of private information with us when they're in here. And we don't need the general public to be walking in and violating their rights, because that's what you would be doing if you were in this room and someone did not want you here, and because they do have a right to privacy as well. On the Privacy Act of 1974, yes, they do. You can argue with me on
Yeah,
that.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying, I think we're reading a different one. I think you're
You-
reading the one from 1874, and I'm reading the one from 1974.
okay.
So
It's all right.
all right. So I guess at the end of the day, I've gotten what I need. But is it your position that you're now saying, leave this office, do not come back?
All I'm saying is if you have no official business with us right now, you do have to leave, yes.
I do.
There's no official business. I've always pointed you in the right direction
Yeah.
how to get FOIA. You have no
You're
official business here.
attempting to coerce me with people
No,
with weapons.
Can I, real fast, this is where I kind of come in, right?
Okay,
Right,
sure.
so we're the police, we're the local municipality,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
There are aspects that the major over here has explained.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that you have to take it and like it, right? You can feel, indifference, about that and have
Sure.
an opinion, that's fair. Nothing is going to get settled in this sense. The aspect to address of leaving the office, yeah, it's more along the lines of a private holding lobby, to the sense that people conduct official business here. You haven't expressed that. I get the free FOIA, but we've turned you to where you can get that. So we can't just have you hanging out in this lobby when it's going to be a closed facility. And lack of better words, if someone walks in here to conduct official business and needs that privacy, and you're just flat out refusing, that's a concern. And that's not a disservice to us, it's a disservice of that person coming in here. And that would be on you. So that's why they are asking that you leave here to have the capacity of what this is for, not have you around.
Sure.
It's just
Now, if
as
it's a
simple as that.
request and not a lawful order under threat of arrest for
We don't need to
trespass.
get into the weeds on that. You don't strike me as that type of gentleman right now. And the minutia of all this is we're just going too far into stuff. Okay? The door remains locked for appointments only. If you have an appointment, you can do that. It's no different than things that you've done on your 45, 50 years on planet Earth, okay? Respectfully, I say that.
Sure.
You know how that works. But if you don't have a purpose here right now, I can't sit here all day.
Sure. Yeah, and I
And
recommend that you guys...
the trespass arrest would be effective. It would. Public libraries, our aquatic center, if there are people in there, and I'm not saying you're disruptive when I say this, right?
Sure.
Or just flat out refusing to leave a service. I mean, hey, lights, it's time to go home. And you just say, no, I'm staying past 5 o'clock. You don't get that right. The world doesn't revolve around what you would like to have done in these type of settings, okay? So I'm just going to respectfully ask that you please leave and we can move on throughout the day, okay?
I understand that, but unfortunately, my rights are being violated.
And
I
you
have
can-
a
and
lawful right to be present
I would
to
go
do my
consult.
official
I would go
business.
consult an attorney, sir.
Well, I
This
will,
facility
but,
deals
yeah.
with containers. Do you have any containers you need to work with the?
so that's the only business, so Fife is saying on behalf of the federal
He
government.
obviously said
you
that.
importing
Not,
or
I asked him
exporting
what he
any?
does here, and he says just containers. They certify containers. It has
I-
nothing to do with immigration.
I appreciate that, Officer Morales. What I'm saying is, that's not the only business that is lawfully allowed to be conducted here. One of the other forms of business is, in fact, a FOIA request.
Okay, so make an appointment.
Okay, so are you trespassing me?
Verbally right now, yes. I am verbally trespassing.
Okay, so you're an agent on the raft?
I'm not an agent for the federal government. I work for the Fife Police Department. If you have any concerns, you can talk to
But
my...
you're trespassing?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And if I don't leave, I'll be under arrest?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Have to do paperwork on this or anything, don't
No,
do that
no.
here. If you have an official appointment in business, yes, you do. My supervisor's right here for the day. That's Officer Morales. Okay, I can't accommodate that right now. Have a good day, sir.
All right, so Fife is acting as an... What's that?
This is all private property. It's not federal government, so all this is private. We have a trespass order and agreement with them. So the sidewalks and the public spaces are where you're going to have to be referred to.
Gotcha, so you're trespassing me from this
I'm
property?
not. The business entities here have a trespass agreement with the city of Fife.
Okay.
So if you have any problem with who's trespassing you, take your digits.
Well,
and point
I've
back
been
to you.
trespassed out of here unlawfully already. Are you trespassing me on behalf of
I
that?
am not trespassing you in the sense that if the property owners here want you to conduct your business, that's fine. But if you're walking around here doing this, you might get some calls on you,
Gotcha.
and then we might unfortunately have to come
I got a
back
question.
and move you along.
Is it your position? And I appreciate the, even though I don't agree with the unlawful trespass, is it your position as an agent of the city of Fife that I cannot, in accordance with federal law, Fordyce versus City of Seattle,
I feel like
watch police officers and record them? Are you telling me I cannot do it? That's Ninth Circuit. Ninth Circuit.
You're speaking over me. Have a good day, sir.
All right. So it looks like they're going to violate Fordyce versus City of Seattle. That ruling in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has made it clear that that police officer right there and those two police officers right there are allowed to be recorded from publicly available spaces. This is effectively an easement that allows me to view this facility from out here. Now, I've been unlawfully trespassed from this building, or from the inside, from the lobby. So it looks like what's happening here is they're attempting to prevent the public, the members of the public they don't want, from showing up. So this is pretty amazing too. You've got the city of Fife, a local municipal police department, is acting on behalf of the federal government in an effort to prevent FOIAs from happening in person. He's just admitted that they're not going to accept that. I can't make him take that records request. But they're also getting local PD, here they are, to show up here on site and trespass unlawfully from a federal facility. Now, granted, this is a concurrent legislative jurisdiction, so they can show up here and assist. If this was an exclusive jurisdiction, it would be different. But you can see Fife here doing that. Need to speak with a police supervisor.
Come on through. You have an appointment?
Oh, I'm not going through. Yeah, I'm going to stay on this side.
Okay.
Sir, how you doing?
Not too shabby. How you doing?
I'm guessing you want to talk to me real quick?
I do. Yeah. Okay, if I just step over.
Yeah, come on over, man.
Cool. Thanks. Appreciate it. So I want to go over
Real quick, I'm Sergeant Kenyon.
Hey, Steve.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So I had an encounter with officers Morales and Doran, I believe.
Yeah,
it was,
okay, yeah.
Over at the DHS CBP office 2 days ago.
Okay.
And I wanted to file a complaint more just in general regarding the police department's procedures, because I think some problems, well, definitely some problems happened. as I'm sure you're well aware, and I don't mean this to sound sarcastic, so please don't take it like
No,
that.
you're good.
I'm not trying to be condescending or anything, but over at that office, I mean, obviously there are federal police officers there. They have guns, they're law enforcement officers, they've got handcuffs, the whole thing, just like you guys do. It's a concurrent legislative jurisdiction, but for some reason, I don't know why, the DHS CBP called for Fife to show up. I was there working on an access story for Freedom of Information Act request for elderly and for people that maybe don't speak English as a primary language.
Okay.
And you know, FOIA PRA stuff can be a little labyrinthine, and so I went there to see if it was really as onerous as I was told by people that reached out to me as a journalist about this. It's kind of what I focus on as a journalist. So I went in there. It was open to the public.
Okay.
No signs restricting access. It said official business only, of which certainly FOIA issues are official business. Initial contact with federal was fine, and then they said, hey, we just don't want you here anymore. That's an unlawful order. In fact, their specific code of federal regulations specifically say that what I was doing there is lawful business. So for whatever reason, Fife showed up, and then Fife trespassed me on behalf of the federal government. I'm trying to understand, why is Fife getting involved in a federal issue when there were police officers there?
Wasn't there, but here's what I would offer to you, and you're more than welcome to, we can talk about the complaint if you want to proceed with that.
Sure.
Here's what I'll tell you. They're acting in good faith, and what I mean by that is we're not acting on behalf of the federal authority there. We're simply, I would assume, acting, and when I say that, just because I wasn't there, but my guess is they trespassed you. You said you were trespassed?
I was trespassed by the city of Fife.
Okay, so the authority they're acting on behalf of is that it's private property. So you have a lot of these federal installations that, if you're on a public sidewalk, absolutely, film all day long. It's obviously your right to do so, and we encourage it, right? Just like you're filming me now, I'm filming it, right? It's kind of how it works. So I think because it is based in the Fife Business Park, right, which is a private property entity, it's completely different than right-of-way, right? Public right-of-way.
So let me ask you this, and I appreciate the explanation, Detective. So if the private business owner, and by that I mean the guy who owns the property, like just the whole plot, right? He walks up and says, you have brown hair with some white hair sprinkled into it. And I notoriously do not trust people with brown and white hair. You're never welcome to come onto my property ever. I'm trespassing you for life right now. Don't step on here. But I tell him, I have an appointment with the Department of Homeland Security's Customs and Border Patrol office. I was told to go to that office specifically. Would you guys prevent easement access to a federal facility knowing that I have an appointment?
Here's what I'll tell you. Now we're diving into minutia, right? And what I mean by that is I'm not an attorney. I don't know the ins and outs of everything. So what I would simply do is just say, hey, we need to clarify on these things. Let me talk to the owner, see what we got going on. You have a right to be there.
Absolutely, right? Just like I do here. It's no different.
Right. So now you're almost getting into litigation that I'll be honest, I don't know everything, just like you don't know everything. We don't know it all. All we can do is our best, right? And so that comes right down to the fact that if you know you're in your house and there's an easement to a property going across your driveway, and someone says they have access to get to that property, but you as the homeowner say, hey, that's my easement, you're not going across it, right? Now you're getting into some weeds on that, right? So not that I want to sit here and complicate it. I understand your question, and I'm not trying to complicate it.
Well, what I'm trying to do is...
All I'm trying to offer you is I don't know everything, and we'd have to look further into it, right? We do our due diligence to make sure that we're not... We fall in between this line of we want to make sure everybody... The ultimate goal is to get to yes for everyone, right? So we fall in this line of how do we best accomplish that with everybody's rights in mind, right? I mean, that's what I can tell you.
Well, let me ask you this then. I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this. And I mean, if you're a detective, it's not because you have 6 months as a police officer. You've probably been doing this for, I would guess, more than 6 months. Probably got a reasonable amount of experience. So the idea is that
I'm sure you are very well aware and familiar with easements, how they work. So for example, if there's no sidewalks on either side of the road and you have to walk on the left side of the road, even if the poles are there and the poles are inset onto someone's property, the easement is there. Well, we know that gaining access to a federal installation, which is owned by you and me and him and everyone else, that's my property, your property, just like this is, right? It's our property. We can go there anytime we want, time, place, manner restrictions. But the federal government specifically carved out in Title VI of the Code of Federal Regulations in Chapter 139 that you can go there to do literally what I was doing as a member of the press. Like, it literally says that. And before I could even get to the point of that, Morales and Doran were, in effect, implying that we're not going to go over this, you're just trespassed. In effect, what they're doing is they're only investigating on the side of the federal government. They're choosing pickers and losers, winners and losers, and they're saying, we're just going to automatically believe the federal government, and we're not going to listen to what you're having to say. So we're just going to trespass you because we like them more than we like you. We'd rather have their speech intact, but not have your speech intact. So in effect, what the city of Fife did is they violated my expressive speech. They violated my content-based speech because I told them specifically what I was there for. Elderly and non-English primary speaking individuals trying to seek assistance for the Freedom of Information Act request. That's specific content. 2 people came in to do separate business while I was there. No signs restricting access, door was unlocked and open. Yet Fife seemingly acting on behalf of the federal government as agents of the federal government because...
Well, I think you're speculating a little bit.
It's all on camera, man. It's all on camera.
Here's what but let's jump back to the first part of the conversation where we talked about acting on the state's behalf for public property and private property, right? So, again, we're kind of getting into the minutia of the weeds. I wasn't there, but if you want to file a complaint, I can do that for you.
I would like to do that, but there's something even more specific that I want to have attained today or achieved today. I would like the city of Fife to just say, we're going to refuse to honor that trespass. We're abdicating our any belief or responsibility that we have any role in it, because it was shocking to me that police officers would call other police officers when they could just do it themselves. There's a federal trespass statute. And the whole idea here is that the askins, I don't want to go too far into this, but it's probably helpful to you as a police officer to know this, so that if those people over there try to do this again in the future, that you guys can say, hey guys, sorry, but you need to just figure this out on your own.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was going to go by me. The Askins ruling, which is for DHS, specifically
I like your style. You're very teacher-esque. Do you teach any of this, or you thought about doing that?
No, the state, especially Bobby Ferguson.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily my number 1 fans.
Okay.
In fact, I think if they could drop a planet on me, they probably would do that.
Well, man,
Anyways, the point
without
is
getting too into it, I understand where you're coming from.
Part of this was to enforce or to follow up, which I did a story on up at the border. Okay, I went to the Blaine border crossing. And literally caught the Department of Homeland Security violating a 5-year probation that the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals said, you will do this or you're going to pay an amount of money that is going to shock even dead people. And so the DHS bent the knee, they kissed the ring, and they did as they were told. I've caught them violating that probation. Did my story, put it out there for consumption. And then I got more tips and leads that they were, in effect, violating that again, because they're supposed to have certain signage in that office that says you can record, and even if you're an immigrant coming in, like trying to get a visa or whatever it is you're trying to do, you can do that. That was a secondary part of the story. And then all of a sudden, Fife shows up and says, we're just going to ruin this whole story here. This member of the press has legitimate reasons. I mean, those are detailed, legitimate reasons for a news story. And I want this rescinded if I can. I just want Fife to say, we're done, we're not going to do it. And if the DHS wants to arrest me as a journalist, by golly gee willikers, they can do it, but they'll pay for that.
And here's the thing, brother. I like your confidence in my authority. I don't have that authority to do that.
I get that.
So
I'm hoping maybe you can talk to maybe the city attorney or the mayor or the chief of police.
So what I would recommend is that you're more than welcome to write a letter or contact them, directly on that. Like I said, that's way above I know where to step and where not to step, and that's way above me.
Let me ask you this. If I go back over there right now and DHS calls Fife, now I was just trespassed 2 days ago.
Who authorized trespass, do you know?
Officer Dorn. He said
sorry.
you're trespassing. Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's jump back
DHS. DHS, so the major. Are you trespassing me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and if I don't leave, you'll arrest me?
No, I'll make someone come out. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so are you trespassing me?
Verbally right now, yes, I am verbally trespassing.
Okay, so you're an agent on the
I'm not an agent for the federal government. I work for the Fife Police Department.
All right, I want to address the trespass conversation here in totality now that I've spoken with several people throughout this entire encounter. When the major initially did tell me he was trespassing me, and then he said he was not going to arrest me if I did not leave, but was going to have someone come speak with me, I was of the mind someone else was going to come speak with me about that Foia issue. I didn't realize he was calling the Fife PD at the time. When Officer Morales asked me, as Officer Dorn was speaking with the major in the back, if I had been physically trespassed, I was of the mind that he meant physically removed and then I returned. In now speaking with the detective, I was speaking about Officer Dorn trespassing me after I had asked the major if I was trespassed, but wanted to put out the trespass notification from the major. And then secondarily, now that we see the major refuse to respond, Officer Dorn interceded and trespassed me of his own authority on behalf of the city of Fife. Now, could Officer Dorn have had a conversation in the back, and probably did, with the major where the major said he did tell me I was trespassed and something else was said to make it more confusing? Sure, I don't know yet until I get the body-worn camera footage though. That being said, I am hoping this clarifies the trespass situation a little bit more from my perspective in light of the different people involved and different things that happened throughout the total encounter.
I asked him, I said, are you trespassing me?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no, he's not trespassing me. So let me clarify. And then Officer Dorn said to the I don't want this to be a material misstatement in accordance with the misstatement statute regarding giving a misstatement to a law enforcement.
I'm just trying to get
exactly. But going to off the best of my recollection, what I recall is that Dorn then said, no, I'm trespassing you. You need to leave. And I said, if I don't leave, am I going to be arrested? He said, yes, I will arrest you for trespass.
So I'll read the report.
Okay.
We don't have the authority to trespass on our own behalf. Someone has to give us authorization, especially when it comes down to public or private property.
Yeah.
They have to give us authority to trespass on their behalf.
They said, in fact, the first time, and I want to clarify this because it will certainly matter to you, the first time before Fife even showed up, the major was like, hey, I want you to leave the office. And I said, are you trespassing? He said, yes. And I said, if I don't leave, are you going to arrest me? He said, no, I'm going to go get someone to talk to you. And I'm like, that's pretty confusing. You're trespassed, but no, I'm not going to arrest you, which he certainly could. He's a federal police officer. And then he said, no, I'm going to get someone to talk to you. As in, hang out, I'm going to get someone to talk to you.
Sure.
So then Fife PD shows up, and when Fife PD shows up, that's when everything as I explained it happened. And at the end is when Officer Dorn stated to me, when I asked again to the major, are you trespassing me? And he said, yes. And I said, if I don't leave, am I going to be arrested? And that's when Officer Dorn said, no, if you don't leave, I'm telling you, me, Officer Dorn, I'll arrest you if you don't leave right now.
Yeah, because
that's Fife acting on behalf of the federal government.
It's Fife acting on behalf of someone, I'm just letting you know how we view it,
sure.
Right? It is, we don't recognize if it's the federal government, if it's you, sir, if it's somebody else, if it's their private property, and they don't want someone there, just like I would respect your wishes, we will respect theirs, right? It is private like I said, you're talking about the one at the Fife Business Park. Correct?
Yeah, the one's got like the fast food joint in it and
sure.
all that stuff.
Yeah, open to the public, but yet private property, right?
But not the federal government. I
don't listen. I respect where you're coming from. I do. I don't want to argue. I completely respect where you're coming from.
Once my liberties have been violated as a member of the press, that's a legitimate story to work on.
Well,
I mean, if we don't think elderly people and people that struggle with our language, our primary language.
And where's that located in the business park?
I don't know the streets like you guys do, but if we were to go, is it down that way? Or is it down that way?
You tell me, man. I don't know. I'm asking you.
I can't remember the streets right there, but if you were on the west side of the park and you're facing north, it would be, and you walked in through that sign, and there's a sign there that says no trespassing private property.
Yeah.
It would be the very first building on the north side as you enter from the west side. And they've got those like kind of red, orangish kinds of awnings
And what's the name of the business?
Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Patrol.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to clarify. And again, I'm just trying to understand.
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
You said you were there for a different reason.
With DHS CBP?
You said you were there investigating something about the elderly, or?
Oh, yeah. So the tips and leads I received were from some people, for elderly individuals that reached out to me on their behalf, I should say. They said, hey, you know how it is with old people sometimes. They're like, I'm not really good at the internet. I don't know how to do email. I just want to go in and get help, kind of thing.
Okay.
So there was some people that reached out on behalf of some elderly citizens, and then there were some people that reached out and said, hey, I saw your story up in Blaine, Washington. They're supposed to have certain signs posted that says you can be here recording. That
Okay, so you were there specifically to see if
they were honoring the Askins DHS ruling from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Okay. So let me offer a solution to you.
Sure.
And we can see what you think about it.
Okay, sure.
But one, let me discuss this with my prosecuting attorney.
Sure.
And
I'm even happy to have a conversation with them too. Like I'm not an angry, like over the top guy. I'm sure you can see that.
I think you can tell I'm not either.
Absolutely. You must be the PIO.
I'm not the current PIO. But here's the thing: we're all people, right?
Yep.
We're all just trying to get the right thing done and get things accomplished.
Yep.
And I'd prefer to do that. I'm sure as you would, without
acrimony.
You got it, right?
Yep.
So like I said, let me talk to my prosecuting attorney.
Sure.
And then if you want to get in touch with our city attorney, it's going to be more coming from you, right?
Sure.
But let me get it from our side of the house so I can see where we're lying, right? Like I said, we're kind of I'll never sit here and tell you I know something that I don't know.
Hey, fair enough. Yeah, same thing with me.
So I want to make sure I'm getting you the correct
I appreciate that. I'm happy to leave my email address if you want. Appreciate the professionalism and candor, by the way.
Of course. Like I said, I'm not, your viewers can see that we're just trying to make everybody as happy as we can.
Sure.
And as you know, that doesn't always happen, nor will it always happen.
Correct. And that's why I want to come down and try to find an amicable solution. So my email address is inland.
Do you want to just write it down?
Well, I'm holding my camera. If I could just give it to you. Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no problem. It's inland, INLAND.
Okay.
Auditing.
I'm sorry.
Auditing, AUDITING. Media. If you look in your guys' saved contact folders, it's probably under the devil. I know I'm really loved in Washington State.
Here's the thing. I think you might have some of us wrong. Right?
I appreciate it.
I bet if you and I sat down and had a conversation, we would have way more in common than you think.
I get the feeling, Detective Kenyon, I get that feeling actually. I'm a pretty good judge of character, and I get that feeling that you and I could sit down and have a beer and it would go just fine.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I like the Skagit Arm. I like the...
Oh yeah, huge Second Amendment proponent.
You and me both.
Yeah,
so, like
excellent.
I said, right? So,
and it's at Proton Mail, PROTONMAIL.com.
I will relay the information.
Yeah, sounds good.
And we'll go from there.
That sounds good. And I wish you and yours the best for Christmas.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
you take
a good
care.
conversation.
Yeah, likewise. And also, I'm always open to doing like training stuff. There have been some people that do what I do that have done it. I know Long Island Audits up in Northeast United States has done that with some police departments up there. I am a super friendly, down-to-earth guy, and if an agency like the Fife Police Department were ever open to that, I will give no acrimony or any problems for you guys. I do specialize in the Public Records Act. It's one of my things because transparency matters.
Yeah.
So if you guys are open to that, or even just a conversation to come in at one of your meetings or something where it's not an official thing.
Yeah.
Hey, here's Steve wants to talk about the Public Records Act, is how it works with going into public buildings or whatever. Hey, no problem. I'm not here to cause problems. I'm here to cause transparency at a greater level to occur.
Absolutely.
So, ironic when I'm wearing the mask, but in case you're wondering, I do this because it's my silent protest against fusion centers. I actually think fusion centers are a violation of the Fourth Amendment. I know not everyone agrees with me. I don't think this mask is going to melt all fusion centers like through X-Man powers, but
like I said, there's not a whole lot that you and I probably aren't too far off on. And
I love it.
I'm totally fine with that.
You take care. Merry Christmas. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Merry Christmas. All right, so wow, what a great conversation with Sergeant Kenyon there, a detective here at the Fife Police Department here in Pierce County. What a wonderful experience to happen, because you don't see it as often as I think we should. And here's this fantastic police officer. I am generally a pretty good judge of character, I like to think. And I really do believe that Sergeant Kenyon there, Detective Kenyon, is a great guy. I got that feeling off of him, and sometimes you just have to be there in person to experience that, and that's what my impression was. Comment below what you guys think.
Welcome back to the very end of the video, where the nights get longer, the air gets sharper, and the truth stands out clearer against the silence. If you're hearing this, you're one of the very few who stick around to not just witness, but understand. In this quiet part of the video, we reflect, share what fuels us, and say a few things to help the algorithm help us reach someone new. December is when the world winds down, not this channel. So let's close the book on the year with keywords, philosophy, and the reasons we don't go silent, no matter how cold it gets. The December 2025 SEO keyword cluster. Reasonable articulatable suspicion. No RAS, no ID. Detained without suspicion. Unlawful detainment audit. Fourth Amendment audit. Terry stop exposed. ID, refusal, education, filming cops legally, First Amendment audit, sidewalk rights, confrontation, FOIA request denied, corrupt public officials exposed, government employee misconduct, City Hall audit confrontation, mayor caught lying, retaliatory arrest for filming, police officer walks off job, refusal to provide badge number, citizen journalist exposes cover-up, violation of open records law. You won't believe what this cop said. Tyrant cop gets owned, arrested for filming again. Cop tries to delete footage. Body cam reveals truth. Public official loses it on camera. Shut down by the Constitution. First Amendment violation caught on video. Audit goes viral. Caught on camera lying to the public. City Hall confrontation. Courthouse audit. Police station audit. School board exposure. DMV meltdown. Sheriff's office corruption. Public library filming rights. Fire department audit. Federal building standoff. Post office audit fails. Do you have to show ID? How to film police legally. What is reasonable suspicion? Public photography rights. How to file a complaint on law enforcement. When are detentions illegal? Passive resistance explained. Legal to film on government property. Civil rights training for cops. Know your rights when stopped. And now on to the December philosophical readings and reflections from David Thoreau. Civil disobedience. Disobedience is the true foundation of liberty. The obedient must be slaves. My reflection is that when you record from a sidewalk, ask tough questions and don't move just because they said to. That's not obstruction. It's resistance. And resistance is how liberty breathes. And from famous poet and Russian writer Alexander Solzhenitsyn, let the lie come into the world. Let it even triumph, but not through me. My reflection as it relates to my journalism is that's why I film. That's why I post. That's why I confront them when they say you cannot record. I will not be a part of that lie. From Cicero, from his text On Duties. Salus populi suprema lex esto. Translated, the good of the people is the greatest law. My reflection is that public servants often forget you serve the people, not the other way around. If the camera makes you uncomfortable, you're in the wrong job. And finally this month, from one of my favorites, James Madison in Federalist 51. If men were angels, no government would be necessary. My reflection on that is don't assume they'll do the right thing. Record it, test it, question it, build the controls. Now I've got some questions for all of you for December. A little pre-Christmas and holiday homework, if you will. Which government agency is the least transparent in your town? Has a cop ever demanded ID from you with no reason? And what did you do? Should government buildings be required to remain open for public audits during the holidays? What was the most shocking audit you saw this year? Do you trust your local government more
or less 2025 and why? And finally, I just want to say to you all this December of 2025, I greatly appreciate you. I could not be doing this without your interest in my journalism and my push for transparency wherever I go in seeking my stories. I want to thank you all for that support. I want to wish you all and do wish you all the best in your 2025 holidays and the best going into a 2026 as we pursue greater transparency and expose corruption from tyranny and tyrants alike from here and into 26. Thank you very much. Happy holidays.